So now that the 2024 regular season is over and we saw every single player from the 2023 draft class play their rookie season, it is time to react to my initial 2023 draft grades that I made the day after the draft. And obviously nothing is set in stone. A rookie that maybe had a poor first year in the league, you should not count them out, and they could be fine going forward, or somebody could maybe have peaked in their rookie season, so I can't take credit for a great grade just yet. And before we get into the video, let's hear a word from today's sponsor. In May of 2022, I graduated with my master's degree and went into the corporate workforce as a finance rotational analyst. And I learned over the year and a half I worked that it just wasn't for me at this current moment. And I knew that I had a love and a passion for sports. And if you are going through something similar right now, today's sponsor, Southern New Hampshire University's sports management program, could be the career change waiting to happen for you. Southern New Hampshire University's sports management program lets you turn your passion for sports into a degree. You'll learn about the business of sports, sports management principles, and how to gather and analyze data that's interesting to your career. This degree could help you prepare for a career as an athletic director, a sports information director, a marketing manager, and other exciting roles in the sports industry. You'll be able to tap into SNHU's network of graduates working in sports-related roles. Your courses are taught by faculty with real-world experience, so you'll have opportunities to connect with people within the industry. SNHU is accredited, nonprofit, and has radically affordable tuition. So you can go to my link in the description and fill out this information, which is just your name, your number, your zip code, and your email. It's absolutely free to do, just to inquire, just to learn a little bit more about the program. So you can go to my link in the description and the pinned comment below, fill out this information. It takes 2 minutes to do, and learn more about what Southern New Hampshire University has to offer. And thank you again to SNHU for sponsoring today's video. All right, so let's react to this. Funny enough, I'm wearing the same gym shirt that I made at the time of this video. There's some surprising fallers, some guys that kind of rose up draft boards that I didn't expect to go as high as they did. I ended up going 9 for 30 in my mock. Honestly, 9 for 30, not terrible. Really wanted to get, without further ado, let's get into the grades. So I'm going to start off, the San Antonio Spurs selected Victor Wembanyama. Who predicted this, right? Bro, leading up to the draft, sometimes I was saying Victor Wembanyama. I don't know, instead of Wembanyama. All right, just like, let's move on, but I'm an idiot. Well, yeah, this pick was already made 2 years ago. It was the pick they expected to make. This was the pick they should have made, and they took Wemby, who's a generational big man talent. You're going to be getting an A+ for me. It's because they got the best player in the draft. They didn't do anything crazy. They didn't get somebody as like a steal here, but it's Wemby, so I got to give it an A+. With the second pick, all right, good. I think we're 1 for 1 so far. The Charlotte Hornets took Brandon Miller. I'm giving it a B+. Brandon Miller was my 3rd ranked prospect in this draft. I really wish they ended up going with Scoot Henderson. That's why they're not getting an A from me. I am very intrigued though to see how he does with LaMelo Ball there in Charlotte, and I wonder if they are going to bring back Miles Bridges as well. At number 3, the Portland. All right, so I guess that's my first L so far. I mean, just off the rookie seasons alone, it looks like Charlotte made 100% the right decision going with Brandon Miller over Scoot Henderson. And obviously these guys are still so young. Like Scoot just turned 20. Brandon Miller is still so young as well, that in 5 years from now, Scoot could be the better player 100%. But after their rookie years, it's looking like I was wrong and the Hornets were right, and they should have made that pick. Trailblazers got Scoot Henderson. This is an A+ for me. Scoot Henderson was my 2nd ranked player in this draft. The Trailblazers just have a plethora of young guards with Scoot, Anthony Simons, and Shaedon Sharpe. I do wish that they end up trading Damian Lillard, but that doesn't change the fact that this is a fantastic pick at number 3 for Portland. At number 4, the Houston. And they ended up trading Damian Lillard. Yeah, high on the Scoot Henderson pick. Obviously, he had an up and down rookie season. It seems like they're bringing back Chauncey Billups, which kind of hate that idea, but Scoot had a strong end to his rookie year. I think he'll be just fine going forward for sure. Rockets took Amen Thompson. This is getting an A for me. This is the guy they should have took at 4. This was mostly everybody's consensus number 4 prospect in this draft. Actually met him at 5, below his twin brother. But either way, the Rockets need a point guard. They get a great playmaker and arguably the best athlete in this class with the 4th overall pick. And at number 5, and I think it's funny for at least the 2 guys in this draft, at least in the top 10, that were like point guards in, we'll get to Anthony Black, but also Amen Thompson, who came into this draft known as like these prototypical playmaking point guards. And I think for Anthony Black, who we'll get to in a little bit, he could be more of a projected wing in this league because he may have a good outside shot and he's got a good size. And same with Amen Thompson. He could be maybe more of a wing. We'll see if he's going to be the starting point guard next year, or will it be Fred VanVleet and he'll play a little bit more off ball because the defense is 100% there already. He does need to work on his jumper. The Detroit Pistons are getting an A from me when they selected Asor Thompson, the twin brother of Amen Thompson. I'm really glad they went with Asor Thompson maybe over some of the other prospects that were looked at here with the 5th overall pick. I think he's going to be a nice piece next to Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham because he could be that small forward, and I think his jump shot will develop. It's not going to be great in his rookie season, but I think over time he could be a really good shooter next to those two guards that they are building their team around. All right, so I was kind of right there. It was not great at all in his rookie year. I hope I'm still right that it's going to develop long term. The 3-point shot did not look good this season, but you know what? It's still just his rookie year. He's still incredibly young. Hopefully he does work on it in the offseason, because with his defensive potential, he could be so much more of a valuable player in this league if he develops an outside shot. Gotta switch up my camera view here. Magic at 6 here. They took Anthony Black. This is getting a B for me. I don't mind Black as a prospect. He was my 13th ranked prospect in this draft. I thought maybe they could have got him at 11, or they could have traded down a little bit to get him. He's a good combo guard. I wonder what they're going to do with all their guards, though, especially lead ball handlers with Markelle Fultz, Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony, and now Anthony Black. It's funny because Markelle Fultz is not going to be back next year and did not have a good year when we all thought he could maybe fully break out for the Magic. Jalen Suggs does not look like the lead ball handler and more of a 2, an off-ball player for Orlando going forward, and Cole Anthony, I think, has the perfect role off the bench. So, yeah, there's a direct line for Anthony Black to be the starting point guard next season. I'm fully, on the board of seeing him in 30 minutes a night for them. We'll see if they add a shooting guard in the offseason or just someone that could space the floor like a Klay Thompson, Malik Monk, or Buddy Hield. But either way, I think I was wrong with this pick. I think Black has shown me enough in his rookie year where I think I was a little too low on him. Should have had him as maybe closer to 10 than I did, having him at 13. With the 7th overall pick, the Washington Wizards traded up and they took Bilal Coulibaly here with the Pacers. So they made a trade there to move up 1 spot. I'm giving this a B-. I didn't love Bilal as a prospect as some other people. He was my 21st ranked prospect. So I thought this was a little bit of a reach to take him this high at 7, giving up multiple seconds to move up. If there was one team where I wanted Bilal to go to, it was definitely the Washington Wizards, because he's going to get the most amount of playing time, the most amount of volume, and this team is in a 2 to 3 year rebuild. So he's going to have time to develop and really reach his fullest potential in Washington. So I'm glad he went to the Wizards. I just thought this was a little bit of a reach for them. So all right, so I was wrong on Bilal. I mean, having him outside the top 20 isn't great. Now, obviously, that could be a fine take in 5 years from now when we know more about these rookies, but that looks like an L for me so far because Bilal did show promise on both ends of the floor in his rookie season for a terrible environment in DC this season. And you know what? I think I was right saying that, the position I wanted him to go to was Washington because he was going to have the most amount of time to shine out of any of these teams around Washington, and I think that could segue us into the Jarris Walker pick, because if Bilal was playing for the Pacers, he was probably not playing at all in his rookie season. He was going to spend time in the G League like Jarris Walker did for the Pacers this season. So at least I was right saying that I wanted to see him in Washington, but not having him in the top 20 looks like a fat L for me so far. Pacers traded back 1 spot and they got Jarris Walker out of Indiana. This is getting a B+ for me. This was, I think, a consensus top 10 guy all around. I like Walker as a prospect. I don't think he has as high of a ceiling than some of these other guys, but I think this was a great pick from the Pacers, especially trading back and pairing him up next to Miles Turner is going to be a great pick and roll partner with their franchise player in Tyrese Halliburton. The Jazz, I mean, Walker didn't really get a lot of opportunity in his rookie year. I hope that he does see more playing time next year. I assume so if Jalen Smith is potentially gone, Obi Toppin is gone, and he's going to be the full backup to Pascal Siakam. As at number 9, selected Taylor Hendricks out of UCF. I am so excited to watch a Lauri Markkanen, Taylor Hendricks, Walker Kessler 3-4-5 lineup. I would have liked maybe some other decisions, maybe over Taylor Hendricks, but it's getting a B+, similar to Jarris Walker. I like the fit there in Utah, and it's basically where he was mocked to go throughout the last couple of months here at number 9. So I think I got ahead of myself. We didn't see too much of the Markkanen, Hendricks, Kessler 3-4-5. Hendricks didn't really play a lot until the final couple months of the season. Walker Kessler took somewhat of a step back in year number 2, but Hendricks showed a ton of promise towards the end of his rookie year, where I think he's going to be a great 3-and-D stretch for them going forward. Number 10, the OKC Thunder traded up from 12, took on Davis Bertans' contract to select Cason Wallace out of Kentucky. I like Cason Wallace as a prospect. I think he's one of the better defenders in this draft. I think he's an underrated playmaker. It's also going to be getting a B+ for me. I think just taking on the Bertans contract kind of sucked. Maybe they thought that the Magic were going to take him at 11, but probably not if they already took Anthony Black. So maybe they thought the Dallas Mavericks were going to just take him originally at 10, so they traded up, took on the Bertans contract. I think if they got him at 12, this would have been an A, but the fact that they had to take on a little bit of bad money to get him drops it down to a B+. I think that's unfair. I mean, I guess maybe I thought the Thunder were going to use a little bit more cap space in the 2023 offseason, but I'm glad that I knew the potential of Cason Wallace had. As a good defender, I didn't even think he was going to have this large of a role for the 1 seed in the Western Conference this season. So yeah, we had probably the biggest shocker of the lottery, in which the Orlando Magic took Jet Howard here at 11. He was my 26th ranked prospect. I mocked him 17th to the LA Lakers, so I thought this was a little bit of a reach. And yeah, I'm going to be giving this grade a C+. I think Howard could be a fine prospect. He's coming in to be a good shooter for them. I just don't really love his shot creation ability. I also don't think he's going to be an efficient scorer at the rim or get to the foul line or even get to the rim with ease to take good close shots. So I thought this was a little bit of a reach. I thought they could have traded down with this pick and still have gone Jet Howard, so it's getting my lowest grade here in the lottery. I guess that's fair so far from their rookie seasons. I mean, we didn't see a ton of Jet Howard because he was in the G League for most of the season. But yeah, I do wonder how Jet is going to look next year. I think we could see a larger role for him for sure, like Anthony Black. But I do wonder if they add another guard this offseason, they probably move on from Fultz. Do they add another shooter in this class? And Jet Howard only plays like 8 minutes in year number 2. And then you're getting to the back half of that rookie contract, and we really haven't seen anything from him so far. It could get a little dicey for sure. 12 here, the Dallas Mavericks traded back 2 slots and got Derek Lively out of Duke. It's going to be a B grade for me. Oh man, I thought I was gonna give myself, or I thought I was gonna give this like an A. Like I forgot what I gave Derek Lively here. I thought I would have liked this, but a B. That's another L for me. Honestly though, you got off the Bertans contract to take him. I just don't think he's gonna be an immediate impact center right away. Oh my god, L of a take. L, oh my god, that's bad. Like, he's definitely raw. He's gonna have some defensive lapses, but I think at his fullest potential, he could be one of the better rim protectors in the league. He's just gonna have to take some time to develop. I do wonder about his jump shot too, because we see these centers take jump shots in workouts or maybe even at college, but when they get to the NBA level, they get a little hesitant to take them. So I do wonder if he's gonna be a shooter for them at the 5 spot. He's a good player though. I like this pick for Dallas. All right, at least I like the pick, and I guess it was fair saying like, okay, I didn't think Lively was gonna develop a shot. It's funny because that really didn't happen at all this year, because you do see these centers and big men take like jumpers in these workouts and you're like, yeah, I can space the floor, and then they don't really end up doing it. As for Lively, I was flat out wrong saying he couldn't be an immediate impact right away, because he definitely was, and he was one of the most valuable players on this Mavericks team in the first half of the year before they got Daniel Gafford. They were relying on him to do so much just as such a young rookie as well. So that is an L take for me. I was kind of half right, but I think more, I was definitely less right and more wrong with my evaluation on that pick, but at least I think that Lively could be one of the better rim protectors one day. 13, the Toronto Raptors selected Grady Dick. Honestly, it's getting a B- for me. I really like Grady Dick as a prospect. I think he's an underrated defender, and he's arguably the best shooter in this class. I just don't like him to the Raptors for some reason, because I don't know what the Raptors are trying to do. I thought they should have taken a player with the highest ceiling. I would have liked maybe Kobe Buffkin here, or a true guard, maybe a Jalen Hood-Schifino as a... Ooh. Well, maybe good thing they didn't do that. True playmaking point. Apparently, they may move Scotty Barnes to the point guard position, which would be interesting. They're not trading Pascal Siakam. I would just like to know what Toronto is doing going forward, and just, I don't want to see them in the middle in purgatory land. And so I'm glad what Toronto ended up doing. They traded OG Anunoby, they traded Pascal Siakam, and Grady Dick, like I said, was the best shooter in this class this season. He was a phenomenal shooter in his rookie year. The defense, it's a different story. It was not good for the Raptors. I'm excited to see how he looks in year number 2, with hopefully the Raptors being a little bit more competitive. The last pick of the lottery, the New Orleans Pelicans selected Jordan Hawkins. It's an A for me. Basically, everybody mocked this. It was a perfect fit from the start. Jordan Hawkins, a national champion last year, one of the best contested shot makers out of this whole prospect class. He's going to go to New Orleans. He can help them right away next year. They didn't take like a raw prospect like they did in the year prior with Dyson Daniels. I love this pick. I love Jordan Hawkins as a prospect. It's an A from me. Yeah, and I think like Hawkins had an inconsistent rookie season. The shot was all over the place at times. It still was a plus 3-point shooter, and I like the defense and the competitiveness. And it's funny because the last pick in the lottery for back-to-back years was heavily mocked. Like in 2022, a bunch of people, and I think myself included, mocked Ochai Agbaji from Kansas to the Cavs. And then in 2023, the last pick in the lottery, Jordan Hawkins, people mocked a ton going to the Pelicans there. And I know I love the Kobe Buffkin pick. He was one of my favorite prospects, like outside the top 5-ish. At number 15, the Atlanta Hawks selected Kobe Buffkin, my 7th ranked prospect in this class. They got him at 15. It's an A+ because I think they got the best player available here at 15, and somebody that I would have even taken in the top 10. He's just my guy in this class. I don't love the fit in Atlanta for Kobe Buffkin because he's going to be behind Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. I kind of wanted to see him get drafted somewhere where he was going to start, but Atlanta is still going to be a good position. He's going to be fighting for minutes in the playoffs next year. He could be playing playoff minutes, which is huge for his development. And hey, if DeJounte Murray doesn't end up being a Hawk next year in 2025, he could be a nice replacement there as a combo 2 guard. All right, so yeah, I love Buffkin a ton. I'm glad I mentioned that I didn't love the fit of him in Atlanta because he wasn't have the most time to shine playing behind 2 very good guards in this league. Maybe I would have rather seen him in like Toronto. He would have had more playing opportunity this year. And I think Buffkin, like I got to see him in person the other week in the Heat Hawks game in Atlanta, and he just seems hesitant at times, but I feel like Quinn Snyder hasn't really done him too many favors with his rotations this year, and I feel like he was stagnant to sometimes play him with DeJounte Murray out there. And like, what do the Hawks have to play for this season? Let's go through the growing pains of Kobe Buffkin, who's a little bit of a rawer prospect coming out of Michigan, but I still think could be a very nice combo guard in this league. I just feel like could have had a little bit more opportunity, especially with the Hawks probably hitting like their bottom percentile outcome this year and being a massive disappointment team in the Eastern Conference. We got the Jazz at 16, and they selected Keontae George out of Baylor. This is a B for me. I have Keontae George ranked in my 20s in the prospect pool, but I like the landing spot in Utah where he's not going to be relied on too much on his playmaking ability. He's going to have some chance to grow as well. I'm intrigued on who their point guard is going to be next year. Are they going to play Sexton at the 1? How is he going to be there? I don't really know, and how will that affect Keontae George's development? Also, if they re-sign Jordan Clarkson, they have Ochai Agbaji. Is it going to be tough for him to get minutes also? The Lakers... All right, funny enough, George kind of ended up being their point guard, and yes, he actually was relied on to be a playmaker this year, and I didn't think that George was going to be that good of a playmaker right away, so I was definitely wrong there. But I still think I found my troubles with Keontae George. Sometimes he was inefficient, but that is a thing with rookie guards, so we'll see how he's going to look in year number 2. I think that's going to be a good indication on how he's going to be throughout the rest of his career. Will he progress? Will he just be a good 3-point shooter and kind of like that Fred VanVleet efficiency range where you're going to be low 40s, high 30s field goal, but also the same 3-point shot, so it kind of makes up for it. At 17 selected Jalen Hood-Schifino out of Indiana. I'm giving it a B+. I really like Jalen Hood-Schifino as a prospect in the mid-teens to go around here, and I think he can help the Lakers right now, next year, and in the future. This can help them have like a backup point guard for somebody that's on a rookie deal since they don't have their first-round pick in 2024, so I thought this was a good job by the Lakers. Still can't believe we haven't mentioned Cam Whitmore yet. At 8, all right, yeah, I couldn't believe it either, but yeah, it's funny because the Lakers actually may get their first-round pick this year. It depends if the Pelicans want to keep it or they can take the Lakers pick in 2025. But Schifino did not help out the Lakers this year. Now, he was hurt, so I will give him the benefit of the doubt, but when he played in his limited minutes, did not look great. So maybe he's more of a developmental prospect than I thought he was going to be coming out of Indiana. 18, the Miami Heat. They selected Jaime Jaquez out of UCLA. I'm giving it a B-, and I know. Come on. Damn. Initial rookie season, not doing a great job here. The Heat needed somebody to help them right away. They're trying to win a championship next year. Jimmy Butler isn't getting any younger. I just would have liked some maybe other prospects that were more NBA ready. I think Jaquez will be fine next year, maybe fine in year 2. I just think we're already close to what his ceiling is as an NBA player. Is he going to be a contested, or is he going to be a contested? Oh my God, I left that in. I'm an idiot. You gotta love a good editing error. I mean, I'm not kind of wrong. I do think Jaquez is close to his ceiling, and we've seen him kind of fizzle down a little bit in the second half of his rookie season, but I think I should have gave this a higher letter grade than a B-. Is he going to be a consistent 3-point shooter enough for them where they're going to like to play him over maybe some of their other guys? We'll see if they're bringing back Max Strus and Gabe Vincent. I would have maybe liked Nick Smith here. I would have liked if Miami took a chance on Cam Whitmore. That would have been insane, but they stayed away from him. We still haven't mentioned Whitmore's name. At 19, the Golden State Warriors took Brandon Podziemski out of Santa Clara. I loved it. I could say Podziemski's name right, but I said Wemby's name wrong. That's just how it goes. This pick, I love him in the Golden State system. I'm giving it an A-. He's one. Hey, there we go. That's a good take from me. Hey. My guys in this class, I thought he was my biggest sleeper, you could say. I had him ranked in the 20s, but I thought he should go maybe a little bit higher. He goes here to the Warriors at 19, and I think he's going to be a good replacement for Dante DiVincenzo, who's probably leaving in free agency. And at 20, which ended up happening, and Podziemski was a good replacement for DiVincenzo. The Houston Rockets selected Cam Whitmore. We thought in this pre-draft process, he could have gone at number 4. Number 4 originally to the Rockets, and they got him at 20. This is an A+ for me. Hey, if he doesn't work out at all, it's still immense value. Somebody that was a consensus top 5 prospect for a while, then ended up being a consensus top 10 guy, and you got him at 20. I know he's not great of a passer. His assist to turnover ratio was horrible. He gets tunnel vision sometimes, but he's still a very good scorer, and he could be a top 10 player in this class, and you got him at 20. This is a job well done by Houston. And he was a fun watch this year. And yes, there are the passing issues in the league we saw in his rookie season. But yeah, Cam Whitmore, super fun to watch in his rookie year, was a great scorer, super athletic. And for the 20th overall pick, that is crazy value for Houston, getting him and Amen Thompson in this draft. We have back-to-back Nets picks here. At 21, they selected Noah Clowney out of Alabama. It's a B for me. I don't know if I love the fit of Noah Clowney in Brooklyn. He's also going to have to put on some weight as well, but he's a switchable defender, and I guess Brooklyn wants more defenders or defense-first guys. They have Royce O'Neal possibly coming back. They have Mikal Bridges. They have Dorian Finney-Smith, Nick Claxton as well. It's a good defensive team there in Brooklyn. And then at 22, they selected Dariq Whitehead out of Duke. I'm giving this a B+. Dariq Whitehead definitely has some injury concerns coming over, but if he stays healthy, he can be one of the best spot-up shooters in this class. Yeah, like Grady Dick, I thought Whitehead could be a top-tier shooter in this class, but like I said, he had the injury concerns coming over, and he was injured for his rookie season. 23, the Portland Trailblazers had their second first-round pick here. They already got Scoot Henderson at number 3, and they selected Chris Murray, brother of Keegan Murray, out of Iowa here at 23. I'm giving it a B. I kind of wish they went somebody with a better defensive presence. Literally, the pick that went right after him, I think, would have made a little bit more sense. They could use some more shooting, but yeah, they need defense, especially up there in the front court. Maybe they wanted Noah Clowney, and then the Brooklyn Nets selected him. But yeah, I'm not giving it the best grade in the world. I don't love this fit for Chris Murray. Then I should have gave it like a C+. I feel like a B is way too high. Like, I gave that a better letter grade than Jaime Jaquez. That's just kind of hypocritical of me. 24, the Sacramento Kings traded this pick with Dallas. Dallas took on the Rashawn Holmes contract. It's got 2 years left at around $12 million. Sacramento now has $30 million in free agency spending, so I really wonder what they're going to do with that cap space. And they did nothing with it. They basically re-signed Sabonis, Harrison Barnes, and brought over Sasha Vezenkov. But Dallas takes on the Holmes contract, and they take Olivier Maxence Prosper. I love this addition for Dallas. I kind of like this addition more than the Derek Lively pickup, so I'm giving it an A for them. They basically turn the Bertans trade exception on Rashawn Holmes, which is an upgrade defensively, and that's what they need. They save a little bit of money as well, and they get OMP in this draft out of Marquette. I think he's better as a defender than Noah Clowney. He's definitely more switchable on the defensive end, can guard 3s, 4s, 5s. He's going to be perfect and is exactly what Dallas needs. So I love this trade up for them. At 20, I guess, yeah, we didn't really see a lot of OMP in his rookie season. They added Grant Williams later in that offseason, obviously traded him for PJ Washington, so I don't think OMP is going to start next year. I hope we do see more playing time from him in year 2. 25, Boston traded this pick to Detroit, and they took Marcus Sasser out of Houston, the point guard, who's going to be 23 when the season starts. I was shocked to see him go as high as he did here at 25, but I like him. He's a good playmaker. He's a good defender. He's actually a really good shooter as well. I guess this means Killian Hayes is not going to start off the season in the rotation, or they're going to move Alec Burks. It's nothing crazy. I'm giving it a B in Detroit. Pacers here. All right. I mean, that's fair. It's funny. Yeah, Hayes and Burks did not make it through basically the midpoint of the season. One was cut, one was traded. 26, they selected Ben Shepherd out of Belmont. He improved each year from his freshman year to his senior year as a shooter. I'm giving it a B- though. There was probably 3, 4, 5 different guys I would have taken over Shepherd at this pick. At 27, I think that's fair. Yeah, and still in hindsight, didn't really love the pick. I'm a big fan of Nick Smith, so I'm probably going to give this a great grade. And the Charlotte Hornets selected Nick Smith Jr., my 15th ranked prospect in this draft, so I'm giving it an A for them. I kind of like this pick more than the Brandon Miller pick at 2 when it comes to a grading purpose, because I thought they got great value with Nick Smith here, who can be a perfect combo guard next to LaMelo Ball long term. And I think, yeah, he can be a top 15 player in this class, and you got him at 27. That could be a low risk, high reward turnout. And I still agree that that could be possible, because Nick Smith showed great kind of shooting potential towards the end of the season. I hope, like some of these other guys, we see more playing time from him in year number 2, because I think he could be an above 40% three-point shooter next to LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller going forward. Jazz here at 28 selected their 3rd first-round pick. They got Taylor Hendricks, Keontae George, and they selected Bryce Sensabaugh out of Ohio State here at 28. I'm giving this a B. I actually think this is good value for Bryce Sensabaugh. I just don't love the Utah Jazz fit, because I already mentioned the other wings that they had before to play with newly added Keontae George. We'll see if they bring back Jordan Clarkson, Ochai Agbaji. I'm sure Larry Markkanen's going to be playing plenty of small forward minutes. So I do wonder if Sensabaugh is going to have to fight for minutes, and is he going to get them in Utah? So yeah, it's a B grade for me. That's fair, and we also didn't see Sensabaugh a ton, but towards the end of the year, showed a little bit of promise. Hopefully we see more of him in year number 2. Nuggets at 29. They took Julian Strother, who could be a great plug-and-play NBA ready guy, something similar to what they took in Christian Brown last year out of Kansas. So I'm giving it a B also. I thought Andre Jackson out of UConn would have been a better NBA ready guy that could have came in right away for them, or Colby Jones as well, but they went the Strother route. I don't love him as a prospect. more than the other two guys that I mentioned, but I think he'll be able to help the Nuggets next year, and that's what they want. They want to win another championship. And I think yes to Andre Jackson because of what we saw as like a defender from Jackson this season. Kobe Jones had probably a similar rookie season to Strother. You saw the inefficiencies. Lastly, the final pick of the first round, the LA Clippers selected Kobe Brown out of Missouri. I'm giving this a C+. I don't mind Kobe Brown as a prospect, but he was closer to 40 than he was to 30 for me. And yeah, I would have liked it they took a chance on Leonard Miller, on Kobe Jones. I don't know how they didn't take Maxwell Lewis right here. This was I loved Maxwell Lewis at a Pepperdine. Deal would pick up at 40 for the Lakers, so it's getting a C+ for me. So yeah, all right, so yeah, I mean, Kobe Brown's already like 23, gonna be 24, so we didn't see a lot from him in his rookie year either, but with those older prospects, it's a little scarier because they're pretty much already at their ceiling as a player. So yeah, that is gonna be it for me. I hope you guys did enjoy. Drop a thumbs up if you did. Let me know what you guys think of this draft 1 year later in the comments. And you think I'll never be right on any of these great evaluations, or do we just gotta pump the brakes a little bit since it's just 1 year in the league? Thank you all for watching. I love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.